Good evening. The March 6th regular board meeting is being recorded. Anyone wishing to observe the meeting may do so via AVUHSD's YouTube channel. Individuals may take photographs or record meetings provided the individual's conduct does not constitute a disruption, including obstructing the view of others. Roll call. Mrs. Mann.
Present.
Mr. Hughes.
Present.
Mrs. Hernandez.
Present.
Mr. Sanchez.
Present.
I am here, and John Lloydson San Gabriel will be here after closed session. 2, are there public business from the floor, closed session, agendized items? Are there any comments from the public on closed session items?
We have no comments for closed session at this time.
The Board of Trustees will go into closed session and reconvene the regular board meeting at 7 p.m. When we're gonna go ahead and get started, Mr. Hughes, when you are ready to, can you hear me? Mr. Hughes? Mr. Hughes, calling Mr. Hughes. We're about to, awesome.
Welcome to the Antelope Valley Union High School District Board of Trustees meeting. This board meeting is being recorded. Anyone wishing to observe the meeting may do so via AVUHSD's YouTube channel. Individuals may take photographs or record meetings provided the individual's conduct does not constitute a disruption, including obstructing the views of others. Those wishing to address items on the agenda and matters that are not on the agenda but within the jurisdiction of the AVUHSD board shall do so in person, complete a speaker form, and give it to the designee before the public comment portion of the meeting. The speaker form must be given to Ms. Orozco before the board president announces the item. Once the item has been called, we will no longer accept new cards. Ms. Orozco will call the individual's name to come up to the podium to provide their comments. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each. A total time for public input on each item shall be limited to 20 minutes. Non-agendized items are limited to a total allotment of 20 minutes. Only one person is permitted to stand at the podium at a time. No speaker may relinquish a time allotment to another speaker. The district encourages members of the public to attend board meetings and to address the board concerning any item on the agenda or within the board's jurisdiction. The board does not prohibit public criticism of its policies, procedures, programs, services, acts, or omissions. Similarly, the board does not prohibit public criticism of district employees. Speakers are cautioned that no person is immune from liability for making intentionally false or defamatory comments simply because those comments are made at a public meeting. Attendees are also reminded of the board's civility policy, Policy 1313. This civility policy requires that members of the district staff will treat parents and other members of the public with respect and expect the same in return. The district is committed to maintaining disruption-free board meetings. The board will not permit any disturbance or willful interruption of its board meetings. Persistent disruption by an individual or group are grounds to terminate the privilege of addressing the board. Persistent disruption by an individual shall be grounds for the board president to terminate the individual's privilege to address the board. The district promotes mutual respect, civility, and orderly conduct among district board members, district employees, parents, and the public. The district seeks public cooperation with this endeavor.
All right, we will have the presentation of colors by Knight High School, JROTC. Please stand for the presentation of colors. Mr. Sanchez, can you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge of allegiance. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone.
Item 4, PINCO meeting, public comments from the floor for PINCO items. Are there any comments from the public on PINCO items?
We don't have any comments for PINCO items at this time.
B, Pinco second interim financial report. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees review the second interim report and certify the financial condition of Pinco as positive. May I have a motion? Can I get a second? Rosemary. Any discussion? Seeing none? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes. B, purchase orders schedule Pinco. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve and authorize the purchases outlined on the attached schedule. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second? Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion passes. All right, number 5, reconvene for regular meeting. 6, recognition reports, public comments. A, first up, we have our ICC. Oh, excuse me. I think that's Mr. San Gabriel. Go ahead.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I would like to introduce you guys to schools today for ICC student representatives, starting off with Eastside High School.
Good evening, Board and Cabinet. We are the ICC student representatives representing Eastside High School. Hello, my name is Jacqueline Ramirez, and I am Eastside High School's BOC's 5th officer and senior class reporter. Okay. At Eastside, our senior class has organized fun activities for our seniors. The past semester, including this one, we have done Senior Sunrise, Senior Splash Day, Senior Field Day, and a Valentine's Day marriage booth. Now that it is the seniors' last semester at Eastside, we're making sure that they have the most fun and entertaining events like Senior Sunset, Senior Olympics, and Grand Night just moments before graduation. As senior class reporter, my favorite event that we have done so far is our homecoming dance because all 470 students that attended created memories and it created positive social opportunities, which is senior class's main goal this year.
Hello, my name is Melanie Lopez and I'm Eastside High School's ASB secretary. Today, I'm excited to unveil the 2025 prom theme for Eastside High School. Although the event has yet to take place, our junior class has chosen to keep it local at the AV Fairgrounds once again. In this presentation, I have included several photos from last year's outdoor prom. This year it will be held indoors in the HW Hunter Pavilion. The class of 2026 made the decision to stay local so that our wonderful students can afford to attend prom. With rising costs, this year's prom ticket will be $95 on discount day and $130 afterwards, which inspires us to embrace. The theme for this year's prom is Real Rebel, which inspires us to embrace vibrant colors, floral designs, lively decorations, and plenty of feathers. The reason for this theme is it is enjoyable and it aligns beautifully with our graduating class. As a senior, I am looking forward to spend one of my last important events with my friends and classmates, but I would like to enjoy this event as a reward for all of my 4 years of hard work during high school.
Good evening, Board and Cabinet. My name is John Lloyd San Gabriel, and I'm Eastside High School's ASB president. Every year, our ASB hosts a talent show, but not just any talent show, but a production in our performing arts theaters. This event allows students the opportunity to take the spotlight and show off their great talents. This year, our theme was our interpretation of the movie Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. We were able to showcase 12 acts consisting of different talents such as singing, dancing, and band performances. With the participation and partnership of a few clubs on campus, we were able to truly make this show come to life. We had Los Leones perform as Oompa Loompas, advised by Ms. Munoz, and our Lionheart dance to perform as well, advised by Ms. Gonzalez. We also truly could have not had a more visual production without the help of our stagecraft, advised by Ms. Gilson, for building us sets, and for our drama club for allowing us to borrow their costumes. Talent Show provides ASB the opportunity to make money to cover the expenses of other events. With great success, this year we had about 300 guests attend the show, making us a profit of $1,000. Eastside High School's annual talent show truly is a great way for us to showcase the many talents we have on campus and to continue funding our events for students.
Good job.
Hello, my name is Nathaniel Leader. I am the ASB Treasurer, Student Tech Director, and Dance Teacher's Assistant. I'd like to start my presentation by talking about dance before moving on to the Los Leones. The Eastside Lionheart Dance program is barely 2 years old. However, in those short few years, they have done nothing but impress. Having incredible and beautiful dances, they have a full-scale dance recitals showcasing their talent in the Black Box recital, March 20th through the 21st, and their main recital, May 15th through the 17th, showcasing their incredible talent. Also, the Lionheart dance team was highlighted in the I-28 newscast. And most excitingly, the dancers auditioned to perform at Disneyland, and they were accepted. On April 22nd, all 100 dancers will take stage at one of the most iconic performance venues, marking a major milestone in their journey. Los Leones is Eastside's folklorico team. They have started about 8 years ago, and since then, Los Leones have worked hard to continue to spread the love and awareness of Hispanic culture. They are dedicated to continuing to spread awareness not only within the school, but the district and the community, like how they will be having a showcase at the Poppy Festival. Through time, they have grown to a team of more than 50 plus members and have inspired other schools within our district to start a folklorico team as well, with 5 other schools starting their own teams. They stress the importance of familia within the team, within Eastside, and with all they do around.
Hello, I'm Valerie Navarrete Zarate, and I'm ASB's Vice President. In Eastside High School, we have a lot of groups with many talents and skills, as you've seen throughout our presentation. One of our groups happens to be the Drama Production Team and Stagecraft, also known as the Balcony EHS. This year, they have already completed 2 shows, and one of them being a holiday show. Our actors show their love for theater as they go after school every day and show up and just bond with other students by exchanging lines within the script, exchanging laugh, and exchanging memories that they will keep not only for themselves, but for the audience as they watch their hard work unfold at their shows. The Balcony EHS continues to create a fun theater arts environment this year as they are preparing for the annual Ghost Light, where Eastside High School happily invites other drama clubs and stagecraft techies to show their way of running the theater. We do this by sharing puzzle plays, and we do this by also practicing some fun fighting scenes. It is all safe, by the way. And if this piques your interest of watching their shows, there's actually one coming up, and it is named Clue. It is going to be March 13th through the 15th, and it's going to be more later in the night, so parents are able to go. And they made that poster on the right, and just for everyone to enjoy. And that actually concludes our Eastside High School's presentation. Thank you, Board and Cabinet, for giving us your time. And if you have any questions, we are more than happy to answer.
Thank you. Board, do you have any comments for Eastside High School?
Only if you can give me the dates again for
Yes.
March 13th.
Let me go back on the slide. So there's going to be Thursday, and that one is going to be March 13th, and it's going to start at 4. Doors open 30 minutes before the show. And then it's going to be Friday, March 14th. That's going to be at 6 o'clock, and or in the evening time. Saturday, March 15th, and there's going to be 2 shows that day. So if you can make the earlier show, that will start at 2, and then the later show is at 6. And the tickets are going to be $5 pre-sale, and then 8 at the door.
Good, thank you.
Mhm.
And I love the capes.
Mr. Hughes?
Congratulations. We can see our future leaders right here in front of us. I'm really excited about that. You guys did an outstanding job, and congratulations.
Thank you. We
And
really
to
appreciate
the
it.
principals and all your staff and all the advisors back there trying to hide. Excuse me, I'm trying to hide. Good job to you guys creating these outstanding children. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Ms. Hernandez?
I just wanted to say thank you guys for all your hard work. It's been really nice to meet you. You guys are super welcoming. You guys are really busy. I can't keep up. I follow you on Instagram. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I missed your rally. And I'm sorry I missed your rally. Just,
Okay.
I can't keep up. You guys are super busy. I don't know how you get your schoolwork done. And I really enjoyed being with you. I know Jacqueline was talking about Valentine's Day and the marriage booth you had. And it was the cutest thing. I think there was somebody dressed as a priest there.
Yes, actually,
Right?
yeah.
That was adorable. I really enjoyed it. There, and even walking the campus. I don't know how you guys are everywhere. There's one activity on one corner, another activity on another. And I think it's 60 acres or something. You guys are huge. So
Yeah.
I really do commend all your hard work. And then Melanie, you said the prompting was Rio de Janeiro? Rio Revel? Nice. That's going to be fun. That's going to be fun. And then how do you select the prompting again?
Junior class selected it, so class of 2026. They selected it just because, it's like spring in the summer is coming up, so it kind of matches the vibe of the weather and everything. So I think that's their main reason. And it's also colorful and really bright and like it's something we haven't really seen for other schools to do. So we kind of wanted to see if it will work out for our school.
Yes,
I'm
and we actually
excited.
do have one of the junior class members here right there, yeah.
Well, you guys selected a beautiful theme.
Madam President, can I ask another question, please? All right. On your prom, you said your tickets were $95 and you guys are doing it locally, correct? Out of that $95, what is the cost of actually renting the venue? Would you say it's $20 out of that or $30 out of that per person?
I think
There is a cost for the venue, correct?
The initial cost is about $90 a head, but that includes the DJ, catering of food, security. But like I said, I went in there, we went last Friday and did a walkthrough. I'm super excited. I think it's gonna come off really, really well.
Awesome.
The building is very, very large and, I think it's gonna be great where they're gonna have the food area, they're gonna have the dance floor, the DJ. The kids are gonna be really excited.
Yeah, I was just at an event, and I think it was the Children's Center event, and it was just truly amazing how they decorated. I just want to point out, this board up here approved the Paris Center, and we cut some flack, but that price is going to go down when that building is built, because then you can have your proms and your graduations there, and that's going to really reduce the costs, therefore allowing more of our kids to participate. So I'm really excited about that. In a couple years, we'll see how that works. So thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Sanchez?
Yeah. How many talent shows you guys have in a year?
So we actually have one every year and it's like during, when we come back from winter break.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So we take like 2 months planning the talent show. It is a really big event. It's really like everyone in the school community, like anyone at all, like please come. Like it's something that it's really special to our school because how many people are able to, if they don't feel like they fit in, you fit in talent show. Like you feel included in our school.
Yeah. No, that's good. I see a lot of differences. Like it's all good. So, and then the folklorico, who's the assistant? The coach?
It's
The
Miss-
dancing? Are you
Miss
part of that
Gonzalez.
too, the folkloric? Oh, okay.
They both graduated from Eastside High School.
Okay.
They pre-college with Poppy Festival, they'll be performing. It's probably one of the best like local parts of the Poppy Festival. It really gives it a really hometown feel.
Yeah. No, it looks good. Thank you.
Yes, great. Thank you very much. What I really loved is that you showcase Eastside High School and really the arts and culture aspect of it. I mean, we can only get so much in a couple of minutes, but I loved how you chose that, and that really shows community, because I believe strongly that arts and culture does bring community
I
together.
agree.
And you as Eastside High School, it's very clear that you have a really strong community. Antelope Valley College will be at your Ghost Light Festival doing the workshops. So
Yes.
hopefully we'll see some of you there. Thank you so much, Eastside High School.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Mr. San Gabriel?
Lastly, let's welcome our last ICC student representatives for tonight, Quartz Hill High School.
For the board's awareness, there is a brief video. There is music only. There's no dialogue or speaking.
Good
I'm
evening,
sorry, can you please repeat that, Mr. Nian, because Mr. Sanchez was talking to me.
There's a brief video. There is no dialogue or speaking. It's music only.
Thank you.
Good evening, members of the board. This is our presentation from Quartz Hill High School.
Good evening, members of the board. I'm Jersey Cordovado, and the first Friday back from winter break, the Kindness Committee gave out free hot chocolate, and on every cup there's a kindness message on it, and it produced like kindness around school campus, and it was really cool. For sports, Quartz Hill recently finished basketball, soccer, and wrestling. Track and field and volleyball seasons are next, And ASB is also encouraging student participation in attending spring sports by giving out themed cards with stamps on them. And each time they go to a game, they get a stamp. And when they go to 5 or more games, they get a free donut. And it doesn't just help the school with spirit, but also helps the school financially.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Leila Guzman. This year we have had a lot of successful senior events, and one of our most successful events include movie nights. During these events, we provide food and drinks as well as numerous activities like gingerbread houses, bracelet making, to encourage our senior body to be involved during their last year and just have fun with their friends.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Andrea Aris, and I am Court Hill's freshman class president. Last month, we had a winter rally. ASB came into school early to set up for all the decor we had made. Our theme was Into Wonderland theme, and we made lots of decor for the assembly, and we were able to showcase a lot of our winter sports and athletes in this assembly. We were also able to showcase our amazing performance teams we have, and we had games to help boost our student participation. Overall, the rally went smoothly and everyone had fun.
Good evening, members of the board again. My name is Brody Culver. We recently had our winter ball at Courtsville High School. The theme was Into the Wonderland. It correlated with the winter rally. We had multiple decorations like silhouettes, balloon arches, and etc. We also served tacos from a taco vendor, and of course had a DJ. And in total, we had about 230 people show up, and overall, it was a very successful night.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Rihanna Mabarki, and I am the junior class secretary. I'm excited to share with you about our annual blood drive. This is where we partner up with the American Red Cross and we promote life-saving blood donations. Remember, every donation can save up to 3 lives. So we host a drive in our small gymnasium, and we had our last one on October 29th, and it was a wonderful success with over 100 signups. Each ASB student is responsible for at least 2 recruitments, and it can help with a lot of strong participation and engagement with our student body. It is such a privilege to be part of such a meaningful experience, something that can really help change a lot of people's lives. And our next blood drive is actually on March 18th, and we're hoping for an even greater turnout. Thank you so much for your support, and we hope to see you much more.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Camilla Iris, and I serve as junior class president at Courtsville High School. I'm presenting our upcoming prom that will be taking place May 3rd at Santa Anita Park. The theme is Meet Me at Midnight, so it's very formal, moonlit, and retro. We also look forward for prom court elections that are coming up in the next few weeks, and our main activities that we will be having at prom are a 360 live photo shoot, caricatures, and video games for all attendees to enjoy. And we will be continuing to hype up students for prom.
Good evening again. This year, our ASB has decided to create a new project, which is our Lift Up School music video. We made this to showcase clubs, sports, and everything our school has to offer. We collaborated with Quartz Hill TV Academy, and the video will just in all promote our students to be excited about school. And here's a short little teaser of our video where you can watch in full on our YouTube. And that's just a little video of our little passion project we have going on. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Mann.
I love the video. I'm super excited. I hope you have a wonderful time on your prom to Santa Anita. How exciting that is. Very elegant, looks beautiful. On your YouTube page, what's the name of your YouTube page? Oh no.
QHHS activities.
QHH, okay. And you have more than one? Are
Uh,
I love the whole lip syncing. I love the whole interactive.
So this is our first one that we've had. But yeah.
Yeah, keep it up. It's great.
you.
And that's just a great way for you to get out within your community. So that's awesome. And thank you for the blood donation. It's very, very important.
Mr. Hughes?
Congratulations. You guys did an outstanding job. Like I say, future leaders right there. Can't wait till you guys sit up here on this board. And if that's what you choose to do, I support it. Also, prom. How much is your prom tickets? I'm really interested in that.
Our prom tickets, right now we're selling them. We're doing an early bird sale until March 21st before the kids go on spring break. And with ASB, it'll be 150, and without ASB, it'll be 155. And then guest tickets are 170, and then the prices go up after that.
Okay, great. Need to reduce that. Okay, thank you.
Mrs. Hernandez?
Thank you for the video. You guys, it was very nice. It's very fun to see the whole group working. I could see in the background, the tables. You have a big group back there.
Yeah.
And then Layla was talking about movie nights. What movie nights? What was the movie you guys saw?
So we had a Christmas one where we showcased Elf, and then we had a Valentine's Day one where we did 10 Things I Hate About You. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mr. Sanchez?
You guys been to the Santa Anita? Yeah, very old and vintage. Yeah, you guys are gonna have fun over there. Who picked that place? You guys decided on? That was a junior class? Okay, okay. Awesome. Well, have fun out there. Have fun.
Thank you. Yeah, outstanding job echoing everybody, what they've said. And again, just thank you for bringing awareness to blood drives and donations to really help others. Because again, while you're learning, it also is about community and how you can help our community so that every drop counts, as they say. And then the video, so this was a teaser, it was just a trailer, or was that the full video?
No, the whole video is like 7 minutes. It's just a
Oh,
little
okay.
trailer, just a
Okay,
teaser.
great. Well, I will look out for it on QHHS activities. Oh, perfect.
Yeah, it's not currently out, but by the end of the week, it should be out.
Awesome.
Sorry. Okay, thank you.
It's been released. Thank you, Cortez High School and Eastside High School for coming out tonight.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we have B, Lancaster High School's Anonymous Eagles, Mr. Nian.
Yeah, I'd like to introduce all the way from Lancaster High School, the Anonymous Eagles. It is their computer science and cybersecurity team.
Good evening, Governing Board. My name is Keenan Kande. I am the Community Service Outreach Lead for the Anonymous Eagles. We are a cybersecurity team at Lancaster High School. So today we will be talking about some of our competitions as well as our courses. We need a cybersecurity club because of the fact that all of the work that we do in our club and the fun and the activities that we do in our competitions are career and ICT-based learning. So for all these courses that Mr. McDaniel, our teacher, holds, we get to learn all about software and hardware and computers, but we don't get our hands-on learning and work-based experience. So today we're going to talk about that. I have Jantine Asmar, our director of our cyber camp. So she's going to be telling you about our courses.
Good evening, members of the board. I'm very honored to be standing before you. My name is Jantine Asma, and I am in my 3rd year of going in information technology pathway, and I am the Cyber Bootcamp coordinator. I am currently enrolled in A+, which is a class that is training you to understand the hardware components, understanding how to troubleshoot your software, and how to effectively communicate with your customers. These skills are very important in our society as we are going towards a technical demand. I also chose to take computer science applications and principles as it is establishing a firm understanding of
providing information and instructions to a development environment. Coding is a versatile in the sense of every device will do exactly as you instruct it to do. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to go into a little bit about more of what Anonymous Eagles does as our club. So one of the first competitions that we participate in is Cyber Patriot. And the best way I can explain what Cyber Patriot is we get these virtual machines, which basically puts us in front of what a normal desktop would look like, but essentially what a government desktop would look like. So, but in these situations, it's not as protected as it could be. And so our job in the competition is to protect it as much as possible from viruses and bugs and malwares. And to do this, we're doing things such as securing passwords or deleting possible harmful data and things that could be a breach in their like data and whatever they're using on their desktop. And 3 years in a row, we have reached semifinals, and I have been on the team for all 3 of those years. I'm a senior, and this is my 3rd year on the team as well. And this year, we were able to make our first all-girls team as well, and I'm the captain of that all-girls team. I'm going to pass it off to Bryce to talk about our National Cyber League.
Good evening. I'm Bryce Kennedy. I'm the secretary of the Anonymous Eagles. I'm here to talk about the National Cyber League. Similarly to Cyber Patriot, it's another competition based on securing systems, but it's slightly more nuanced. It involves finding flags that are hidden inside of systems that are made by NCO. And basically the entire goal is these flags are hidden in hard spaces where you actually have to use things like Linux commands and other things to locate these flags because they're hard to find. But anyway, this is probably our best competing overall team, getting 11th and 17th, and we also got 6th, and this is nationally as for all high schools. And for our rookie year, we actually had 2 competitors in the individual rounds who got top 50.
Hi, I'm Jacob Rappos. I'm the CodeQuest lead. Our CodeQuest team is here to learn code, learn how to code, and learn different processes and mechanics of coding so that we can learn different processes to get to that. CodeQuest is funded and hosted by Northrop Grumman. And CodeQuest, we have multitudes of problems that we have to go through and figure out how to solve. It gives us an input problem that we have to output a certain command. I, as the CodeQuest lead, will teach them how to code and how to optimize their code.
Thank you, members of the board. My name is Ethan Diaz, and I am the aero lead for the aero robotics competition. What the aero robotics competition is basically a drone competition in which we use all the skills that we've developed from previous competitions to develop and create our own drone for a series of challenges. These challenges are dependent on the competition. And so this competition emphasizes us to work on our problem solving and critical thinking skills as we use all the knowledge gained from previous experiences to apply it to our drone and see if we can win. Thank you.
Hello again. Keenan Kennedy again. I am the community service outreach lead, as I mentioned earlier, and Cyber Patriot and all the great competitions we do help us learn a lot about our skills in the cybersecurity world. So taking that out into the public and taking that out into the community is a big part of our club. We did the AV Tech Caregiver Initiative, and that was at the AV Fairgrounds where at the AV Fair, at the fair where we gave counseling and different types of advice for cybersecurity, passwords, passcodes, and different methods to secure your devices. We also just completed our IT Roadshow where I collaborated with the adult ed, and we went to Mariposa Elementary School to teach kids about networking, computer science, and different ways that they can get into the IT field. The summer camp that we're going to do this summer is going to embrace our efforts to teach kids about different types of ideas and career paths that they can do in the tech world. I also volunteered at the Antelope Valley Medical Center for 2 months, where I learned a lot about IT and the workforce learning. I used the knowledge from my A+ certification that I'm taking at Lancaster High School to figure out how to troubleshoot and figure out other problems that we're going to experience in the real workforce.
Hello again, members of the board. So what I'm looking at for the future of our club is going from what used to be essentially a 7-member club that was in the attic of our school, basically, to where we now have the privilege of sharing our school's esports room as well, and having over 30 members now. What I went from seeing, I was the only girl on the team for around 2 years, and not only did that put a lot of pressure and kind of this the experience on me, where I was like, wow, I'm the only girl on this team. Like, I want to get this out here more. What can I do? And being able to do that, I see even more girls on the future of our team than just having one all-girls team, but 2 or 3, and even more, to where it's not just so crazy to have an all-girls team where it's just normal. And now we have 2 alumni mentors as well, and we were able to collaborate with our Air Force J ROTC as well. And then student technical support and IT and CS tutoring is what we have as of right now. And next year, we want to be able to have features at the Poppy Festival as well as the AV Fair once again, and visit more campuses for the IT Roadshow. I'm in robotics at my school. I'm the manager of our up team, Eagle Robotics. And with our robotics team, we go to so many different schools and see so many demos. And I see that in the future of Anonymous Eagles as well, and being able to go to many more schools, just as other clubs do at our school as well. And I think this could be a big opportunity, as well as Skills USA competitions, and collaborate with other AV high schools, our Patriot teams, because there are more. So yeah. And then
And this concludes our presentation. Thank you so much for listening. We are open to any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mr. Nehan, can we do comments first?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so Mrs. Mann.
So can you guys step up here? I feel like I'm shouting at you. Yeah, you can, I don't bite. It's okay, come on closer. Yeah. Yeah, we want to get everybody in here. You guys are so talented. I am so impressed. I'm very proud of you. So Lancaster High School is where my area is. So I'm very proud of you. Great job. First girl team. Awesome. Awesome leader. So my question to you is, since this is your senior year and you're going to graduate, where do you plan on going? Are you going to go to college? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I do plan on going into college. It's kind of funny because I'm actually going into college for kinesiology. Very wide range of everything else that I'm doing, being in robotics and being in Sir Patriot, but I feel like all these clubs have helped me so much with my leadership and just bonding and like finding ways to put myself out there and get other people into these clubs, like leaving my legacy. And I actually am going, I want to go to Cal State Long Beach. I just got accepted actually on Valentine's Day. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, that's actually where I'm planning on to college. Yeah.
And I see that you are coming back to the fair. Are you going to be at the Poppy Festival this year?
We'll be at the Poppy Festival.
And you'll be at the fair this year again. And are you planning to come back as alumni?
I would
and
absolutely
participate?
love to. Yeah, that's definitely one of my intentions, to come back as an alumni, not only for Anonymous Eagles, but as well for robotics and all the other clubs I'm in. But especially I want to inspire these other girls to keep doing this and not give up or step out because they might not see the progress within the 1 year like I did, where
in my first year, I was like, dang, I'm the only girl. And then the second year, I was like, okay, this is hard, but I know that there's a way that I can get more girls on this team. And getting my friends from robotics, getting these younger girls like from their junior and sophomore year and motivating them to go down the same path that I did. So I definitely want to come back and keep motivating these girls to do the same thing.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
What a great community you've created,
Yeah.
all of you.
Mr. Hughes?
Congratulations, very impressive. Keenan, I think when on the opening we spoke, right? I was so impressed with you then. I'm even more impressed with you now. Good job. With all you guys, I'm impressed. Amazing. Keep it up. Keep the good work. Love it.
Mrs. Hernandez?
I can't reiterate exactly what they were saying. I don't even feel smart enough to ask you a question. I don't know. You guys are just so smart. I mean, I just can't even. All I can say is keep up the good work. Just
Welcome to my world.
Mr. Sanchez?
No, the other thing I gotta say is I like how you guys working on the future. You guys are expanding your minds. So maybe in the future, because right now IBW, the local units in the electrical trade, they actually now opening up an IT course. It's an apprenticeship that's only dealing with cybersecurity. Right now, they're negotiating a lot of the contracts throughout the city of Los Angeles or LA County, as I want to say. But right now, it's something that I would like to, once it's done, they're still working on it. So they got about $200 million worth of material of cybersecurity stuff, material, just that. So once they finish it up and they're gonna have to remodify the rooms and everything, maybe in the future, even if you guys are not going to school here, we could probably meet up and I'll give you guys a tour out there so you guys could check it out and maybe it's another path. It's just another path. Yeah, that's that. And I know they're working on the hydrogen mini plant, so they could learn how to do that too, like in the future. So I like the fact you guys are working on the future, not what's already here. That's good. Awesome. Thank you guys.
Yes, thank you all so much. So I met this amazing group at this September 2024. And I was talking to a couple of the students, and then I think I met you, Mr. Daniels. No, McDaniels. Oh, Mr. McDaniels, I met him, but you all were telling me about this, and I just had to have you here because I think it is so important what you're doing as a victim of identity fraud twice. Cybersecurity is very, very important. And I love that you're able to do the problem solving and the critical thinking, and that these types of activities align with the academic as well as the extracurricular. And again, that's our goal, is to educate 21,000 students. And you are, I believe, only a small example of the model that we can create throughout all of our high schools. So I would love to see how we can, Mr. Nehan, make sure we're supporting cybersecurity on all campuses, and also really looking about uplifting the women in cybersecurity so that our friend here is not the minority as a woman, but that at least equal or much more, right? When it comes to this field. But I thank you so much. I'm glad that you are here. It's March, but it better late than never. You have been on my radar. I'm just so proud of you all. So, Mr. Nehan, I think we have. Yes, so we do have a certificate that we'd like to present with you because we're just so proud of you. And if we could all board take a photo, that would be great. All right, next up, C, AVSTA report, Mr. Fensco.
Since we had such a short turnaround to board meetings, I have nothing to report.
Great, thank you. D from AVTA, Mr. Mike Millings. Welcome, good evening. Goodbye, Eagles, soar high. Anonymous Eagles.
Good evening, everyone. On the agenda this evening is AVTA's Sunshine document that opens up the bargaining season for next school year. This coming bargaining season, our entire agreement with the district is open to negotiate. As always, I am optimistic that a mutually beneficial settlement with the district will be reached in a timely fashion. Maintaining peace with the district's two labor groups should be of paramount importance for this governing board, as the effect of such labor peace directly impacts the students on our campuses and in our classrooms. Have a good evening and a wonderful weekend.
Thank you, Mr. Millings. E from CSEA, Ms. Karen White. Welcome. Good evening.
Thank you and good evening. So I'm sure that everyone has already heard that CSEA and the district have a tentative agreement. And with that, we're excited to move forward in this process. I do want to thank both teams for their long hours and for their dedication in trying to secure something. Right now, our members do have that tentative agreement out there for them to review. And we're also looking forward to next Tuesday, where they'll have the ability to vote on that tentative agreement. We want to also express our appreciation to the district and their ability to reclassify several classifications, more than what we had anticipated. And we do appreciate that they looked at those particular, people for that. So with that, we will be moving forward too with getting our polls in for our reopeners, and hope to have that maybe at the next board meeting. You have a good evening.
Thank you, Mrs. White. F, public comments from the floor for agendized items. Are there any comments from the public on agendized items?
Yes, we have one.
The public is invited to address the board on any agenda item. To address an item on the agenda, speaker forms must be given to the designee before the board president chair announces this item. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each, and the total time for public input shall be limited to 20 minutes. Only one person is permitted to stand at the podium at any time. No speaker may relinquish a time allotment to another speaker. During public comments, the board listens to concerns issues. The board may ask questions for purposes of clarification. The law prohibits the board from entering into a dialogue with the public or taking action on items not on the agenda. Stephanie Oberg. Oh, like iceberg, but with an O. Iberg. Oberg. I was right. Okay, sorry. Oh, okay. And this is for 6E. I know, right? Welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, board members and cabinet. I am here to once again speak on CSEA negotiations. At the last meeting, the board stated that it wanted the best paid employees. And tonight I asked the board to confirm whether the district's current negotiation terms truly reflect that statement. I have lived in the Antelope Valley my whole life. My parents graduated from this district. I graduated from this district, and so did my daughter. I take great pride in working here and want to continue growing with this district. However, the current state negotiations does not reflect the board's previous statements, and I want to bring that to your attention. Classified staff have sacrificed raises in previous years to preserve our health benefits, and even accepted furloughs when necessary. Even through all this, classified employees have put the well-being of our students and our schools first. Every day, we show our dedication to our students, our schools, and our colleagues. We play a critical role in ensuring that students receive the best education and experience possible, whether that's keeping campuses clean and safe, supporting instruction in the classroom, or just being someone that they can talk to. But while we remain committed to the district, I ask, is the district equally committed to us? Our district should not become an employer that spends thousands on hiring while failing to give dedicated workers a raise they have worked hard for. Do not lose employees that help our students define who they are and help this district thrive. You want the best person for the job, then that requires compensating pay. I am asking the board to reflect on our district's direction and negotiations and see if it aligns with what your wishes are for our district. If not, then I ask that the board helps lead the district in making sincere efforts and negotiation offers. Words are easy to say, actions speak louder. Thank you.
Thank you. Any clarification needed? All right, G, public comments from the floor for non-agendized items. Are there any comments from the public for non-agendized items?
Yes, we have two.
The public is invited to address the board on any matter not on the agenda that is within the jurisdiction of the board. To address an item not on the agenda, speaker forms must be given to the designee before the board president chair announces this item. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each, and the total time for public input shall be limited to 20 minutes. Only one person is permitted to stand at the podium at a time. No speaker may relinquish a time allotment to another speaker. During public comments, the board listens to concerns issues. The board may ask questions for purposes of clarification. The law prohibits the board from entering into a dialogue with the public or taking action on items not on the agenda. Chloe Solis. And Chloe Solis, the topic to review determination for students with disabilities.
Yes, sorry if I did a
That's okay.
chicken scratch. there.
Welcome.
Good evening. So news broke that the Trump administration was set to draft an executive order calling for the closing of the Department of Education. This administration falsely asserts the need to return control of schools back to the states. K through 12 education is already controlled almost entirely by local communities and states. The federal government by law cannot control curriculum. What this administration won't tell parents is that the role of the DOE is to oversee education equity across states, providing some funding. Without the DOE, we are going to see more inequity and financially secure families will be insulted. But as the board well knows, the majority of our high school students are low income. The Cancel the Contract, CTC, has always strived to inform, educate, and provide wellness. And so we will be hosting a 6-week workshop beginning March 15th. And an education rights workshop, which is the workshop I had mentioned on the page. And that'll be on March 18th and March 19th. And so for anyone who is interested, you can come and find me and ask for more information, or as always, you can check our Instagram, which is Cancel the Contract. Thank you.
Thank you. Kimberly Barker, state the topic, SOAR prep enrollment and lottery. Welcome, Ms. Barker.
Today, I stand before you as a concerned parent and advocate for the fairness in our educational system, particularly regarding the critical issue of transparency in the lottery process for SOAR Prep Academy and the consequences this has for our families. We recognize that space is limited and not every student can be accommodated. However, the issue at hand is not simply about enrollment. It is about the system's integrity that determines enrollment. The most glaring issue is the perceived secrecy surrounding when and how the lottery was conducted. No clearly accessible information was provided about a date or location for the lottery, making it impossible for parents to witness or verify its legitimacy. Beyond the lottery's perceived secrecy, there is a growing concern about the criteria used to determine preferences. Officially, there are 2 stated categories for priority admission. However, the results suggest that students outside of these categories were given preference as well. Adding to these concerns is the introduction of a military preference in the SOAR Prep renewal document submitted to the board last month. While we wholeheartedly respect and honor the sacrifices of military families, this new preference creates yet another barrier for families who have invested in this school's community for years. This disconnect between school leadership and families is further illustrated in interactions with administrators. When I was called by the principal about my concerns, he began by stating, "First, I want to start by saying your son Jackson is near and dear to my heart. My son's name is Mason." If leadership is not even familiar with the students they are calling about and claim to cherish, how can we trust them to make fair, informed decisions about which families deserve priority? This brings me to the issue of siblings. My daughter Avery has looked forward to joining her brother's legacy at Soar Prep Academy for years. She believed that her hard work and family's ongoing commitment to the school would provide her with opportunity. Instead, she was overlooked. Research consistently shows that siblings who attend the same school benefit academically, socially, and emotionally. Yet instead of recognizing the value of keeping families together, the lottery process has fractured that support system. At its core, this issue is about trust. When parents are denied basic access to information about how decisions are made, when the selection process contradicts its own stated policies, and when families who have supported the school are treated as disposable, confidence in the system is lost. In closing, a process that operates in the shadows cannot be trusted. I look forward to your response and to meaningful changes that restore integrity to this process and prioritize the well-being of all students. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a clarifying question.
Yes.
Madam President. Did your daughter enter the lottery process and
She
she
did.
wasn't chosen?
She was not.
Okay, thank you.
I do have just clarifying for Mr. Nehan. Did you find out about where it was posted on our website, the pub for the public? Okay, because I know the charter renewal is coming up soon, I believe. So it's, I definitely would like us to look at this a little bit more. Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. Thank you, Ms.
Thank
Barker.
you.
All right, 7, educational service action items. A, review proposed revisions for board policy 4040. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees review the proposed revisions to board policy 4040 as presented. This is a first read and discussion. Does anyone have anything to add about this 4040 board policy? Nope. Okay, great. B, report of findings regarding Academies of the Antelope Valley Charter renewal. That's all I have. Mr. Nehan, so can you repeat that?
The board is just asked to receive the report.
Okay, so we've received the report, received. C, adopt healthful living textbooks and instructional materials reviewed February 18, 2025. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees adopt the healthful living textbook Essential Health Skills for High School and ancillary materials reviewed on February 18, 2025. May I have a motion? Second. Any discussion on this item? No. All those in favor say aye. 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 Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. 8, personnel services, action items. A, open conduct and close public hearing. Public hearing for the Antelope Valley Teachers Association's initial proposal for negotiations to the collective bargaining unit agreement with the AVUHSD for the 2025-2026 school year. The board will open public hearing time at 8:05. Are there any comments from staff or board? Ms. Ramos?
As you heard from Mr. Millings during his comment, the new bargaining season is upon us. While the entire collective bargaining agreement is open to negotiate this year, tonight's sunshine discloses the priorities of AVTA, which include salary and benefits, employee workday and duty obligations, leave provisions, vacancies, reassignments, and transfers, along with safety conditions of employment.
Thank you. Are there any comments from the public?
I don't have any comments at this time.
Okay, we're gonna close public hearing time at, we'll just call it 8:06. B, acknowledge receipt of the AVTA's initial proposal for negotiations to the collective bargaining unit agreement with the AVUHSD for 25-26 school year. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees acknowledge receipt of the AVTA's initial proposal for negotiations to the collective bargaining unit agreement with the AVUHSD for the 2025-2026 school year. May I have a motion? Can I get a second? Second. Any discussion? I just want to say I look forward to our continued relationship with our union. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. C, open, conduct, and close public hearing. Public hearing for the AVUHSD's initial proposal for negotiations to the AVTA collective bargaining unit agreement for the 2025-2026 school year. The board will open the hearing at 8:07. Are there any comments from staff or board? Ms. Ramos?
So similar to AVTA, this item presents the district's sunshine agreements, and the district has a shared interest with AVTA in salary and benefits, employee workday and duty obligations, along with vacancies, reassignments, and transfers. Additionally, the district is sunshining the procedural guidelines for the evaluation of unit members. And again, we look forward to a productive bargaining season with AVTA.
Thank you. Are there any comments from the public?
I have no comments from the public.
All right, we're going to close public hearing at 8:08. D, acknowledge receipt of the AVUHSD's initial proposal for negotiations to the AVTA collective bargaining unit agreement for 2025-2026 school year. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees acknowledge receipt of the AVUHSD's initial proposal for negotiations to the collective bargaining unit agreement with the AVTA for 25-26 school year. May I have a motion? Can I get a second? Second. Any discussion? We look forward to working with AVTA. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. Thank you. E, job description for principal special education. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the job description of principal special education. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Can I get a second? Second. Any discussion? All right, seeing none, let's vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. F, job description for arts industry professional. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the job description of arts industry professional. I would like to make that motion. Can I get a second? Any discussion? I just want to, if I may, say that I'm really glad to see that this job is now available to our community of arts professionals. And I really look forward to see us continuing to grow our arts education program with the Prop 28 money that California voters voted in. Very excited for this. All right, so let's vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, seeing none, motion passes. G, agreement for professional services of PS 20242507 ICU Technologies. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the agreement for professional services PS 20242507 with ICU Technologies. May I have a motion? Motion. Can I get a second? Second. Any discussion? Seeing none, let's go ahead and vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. All right, 9, business services action items. A, presentation of the second interim financial report, 2024-2025. Mr. Vensko will give a presentation on the second interim financial report for 2024-2025. Hello, Mr. Vensko. Welcome to the podium.
Make sure I get all set up and know which way I'm going. All right, we can go back. Okay. All right, good evening, Madam President and fellow board members. Tonight I will be presenting on the district's second interim financial report. Before we start, I want to give a big shout out to our Director of Business and Fiscal Services, Trixie Flores, and the rest of the business services team for their hard work in preparing this report. and apologize if I have to keep clearing my throat. So I want to start really today by going over the state and federal economy and the happenings as it relates to funding. Our funding comes from primarily the state and secondarily from the federal government. So we must be apprised of what's going on each level. Here we show a table of two faces. On one hand, the state is seeing relatively stable revenues. Thank you. Relatively stable revenues, which is translating to stable Proposition 98 funding projections. All the funding we receive from the state, including our main source of funding, the local control funding formula, or LCFF, is driven by Prop 98. However, even though the state is relatively stable, the cost of living adjustment for the upcoming school year is projected to be down about 0.5% from where the state was projected last June. Additionally, the state has extended the tax deadline for LA County residents, which creates some challenges for the state when projecting future revenues. On the flip side, the federal government, we've seen a lot of shakeup with the new administration. There have been calls to abolish the United States Department of Education and cutting multiple federal programs. We get about 8% of our funding from the federal government, including our title programs and our special education. All this to say, there's a lot of uncertainty, and when it comes to budgets, uncertainty isn't a good thing. And so over the next several months, what happens here could reflect and have an effect on what's coming over the next couple years. All right, so kind of switching gears back to the district and the interim report. Here's kind of a budget cycle. Here's a look at what the budget cycle looks like for school districts. We are currently in the second interim report. It is the third major report that happens during the year. During this time, we report and update our revenue expense projections and budgets for actuals based on for actuals through January 31st. We adjust our revenues based on actual attendance and enrollment projections. And we also adjust our revenue or our expenditures for staffing and adjust for any vacancies or additional positions that we've hired throughout the year. We are also able to incorporate the governor's 25-26 budget projection into our multi-year projections. As part of the second part of the, or another portion of the second interim is whether or not we are positive, qualified, or negative. We are filing a positive certification, which means that we are able to meet our, our financial obligations for the current and next 2 years. Our certification status will be reviewed by the County Office of Education as the board approves our report tonight. All right, so into the numbers. Here we're looking at our total revenues. As you can see, we're hit just under $396 million for the year. It's important to know the source of each fund that comes in because it's either classified as unrestricted or restricted. As the name speaks, restricted can only be used for funding programs that are what they're entitled for, such as AMIM or Title I or et cetera. And then on the other side is unrestricted, which the district can use for any its own normal operating expenditures and electricity, lights, and anything that doesn't fall within those restricted programs. Our major source of revenue, as you can see, is LCFF, which is based directly on attendance. On the flip side of the coin, we have our expenditures. Right now, we're sitting on just over $417 million of expenditures for the year. About 77 cents for every dollar is spent on our staff. And the other 23% are spent on capital improvements, books, supplies, and utilities. It's important to note that normally our staffing constitutes about between 80 and 85%, but because we've had so much one-time funding over the past several years, that number is a little low. As the one-time funds expire, we'll probably see that number go back up into the mid 80s. Comparing with the last slide, our overall district budget right now is in deficit spending. As you can see, 417 of expenditures versus 396 of revenues. So, but that's mostly due to spending down all those one-time funds as they are expiring. However, when you just look at the unrestricted side, so I'm going to shift, as I mentioned, you're going to want to talk about unrestricted versus restricted. So unrestricted, we see a slightly different picture. It's important to look at unrestricted because these are the funds that the district can use for anything that, the restricted programs cannot handle. Right now, we're sitting on about a $22 million surplus this year, which brings our ending fund balance to about $145 million. On the right side of the screen, you can see the components of the ending balance. The district will use these funds to help pay for major one-time expenditures such as textbook adoptions, major technology refreshes or upgrades. Additionally, having a healthy ending fund balance will help combat some of that uncertainty that we face. If we have a really small reserve, we cannot strategically handle and cope when the state or the federal government decides to cut 8% of our funding or 22% as it has done in the past. Next, so far, we've only talked about the current fiscal year, but we also, part of the second interim report, we have to look at our multi-year projection. Lots of numbers on the screen, but I want to point out just that we are showing a balanced budget over the next 3 years. However, as you can see, it's trending down. It's trending down towards our, back to that basically deficit spending. So important as if the federal government cuts, we might be having to take our unrestricted dollars and use those to cover what the federal government used to cover. Lastly, we're basically talking about just the general fund so far. This slide is going to go over all the other, bless you, other funds that the district operates, such as our charter, adult ed, and cafeteria. Just a quick brief, we're looking good in all of these other funds, so I'll leave it at that. Finally, so talked a lot about the whole lot of different things, but ultimately filing a positive district certification, we're in a good environment right now. However, as I mentioned, we're balancing, we're going trending downward, and that's due to COLAs that are less than our natural on the costs, including step and column and inflation. As I mentioned, declining enrollment, 500 to 600 students a year, and lower than average attendance rates. What we can do from a staff perspective is review those factors that we do have control over, such as attendance and enrollment, and our staffing, make sure that the level's appropriate. And what's coming up next, we have the governor's May revise will come out in May, and we will come back shortly after that with our adopted budget for the 24-25 school year. And with that, that concludes my presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Vensko. Any questions or comments from the board, Mr. Hughes?
Good job to your staff and you. Thank you.
Anyone else? I just want to thank you for using the dollar bill. That really helps me understand it because I'm a visual learner. So, and this is not my forte. So thank you very much for making it easy for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
to
I'm a visual
understand.
learner as well. So.
Yes, and thank you for keeping us in positive standing. Anyone else? All right. Thank you, Mr. Vensko. Moving on, B, second interim financial report 2024-2025. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees review the second interim report and certify the financial condition of the district as positive. May I have a motion? Can I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. C, Highland High School Stadium Sound System Repairs. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the proposal from Surban Sound and Communications and authorize the Assistant Superintendent or designee to execute the contract on behalf of the district. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Can I get a second? Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none. Motion passes. D, approval to conduct RFP 3/24/25, Program Management Services. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve staff to conduct the request for proposal processes and authorize the superintendent or their designee to review the proposals and execute service agreements. May I have a motion? Can I get a second? Any discussion? No? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. E, approval of resolution 2024-2532 to declare an emergency that requires the waiver of the public bidding requirement for the repair of the damaged water well at Quartz Hill High School. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees adopt Resolution 2024-2532 as presented. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Can I get a second? Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. 10, Administrative Services Action Items, adopt Board Resolution number 2024-2531, promote the prevention of bullying. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees adopt Resolution number 2024-2531, promote the prevention of bullying. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion? I just want to bring this up because bullying is a real concern within our schools, from students, parents, families, teachers, staff, community members like myself. So the board wanted to take a stand on prevention of bullying. We've always had bullying services and resources, but to make a resolution just really shows that Mr. Meehan will be holding our district accountable for anti-bullying. So I hope the board votes in favor of this. All right, may I have oh yes, we did the motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, seeing none, motion passes. Okay, approve consent agenda items 11. A, approve items listed in the following consent agenda categories: educational, student, personnel, and business services. Actions proposed for the consent agenda are items consistent with adopted policies and approved practices of the district and are deemed routine in nature. The board will be asked to approve all of the items in the consent agenda by a single vote unless any member of the board asks that an item be removed from the consent agenda to be considered and discussed separately. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the items listed in the following consent agenda categories: educational, student, personnel, and business services as presented. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? Do we want to pull for
Yes.
discussion only? Okay. What would you like, Mrs. Mann?
I need to abstain from D, so.
From
D.
which of what area?
12D.
12D.
Okay, 12D. Anyone else?
So it's clear, President Corona, so you are pulling that for a separate vote, not just pulling for
Okay,
discussion.
okay.
And
It
then,
will be a vote.
My apologies, I should have been more clear.
No, that's okay.
Mr. Cronin, we'd like to pull item 12A. That needs some further research. So
And
that'll
that's
be
the approved final site multi-year agreement. Okay.
correct. We'll pull that off the agenda.
Mr. Hughes, would you like to? Okay. Mrs. Hernandez. Mr. Sanchez. I do, but now where is it? Where's the safety? Isn't that on here?
Those are under HR.
14B, I believe.
Oh, yes, school safety plans. 14B for discussion only. Yes, let me, hold on. Donations. 15A. Okay. All right, so for discussion or, okay, we'll go to mine. So 14B is the school safety plans. And I just want to implore with the board here, the climate survey that is a part of this, 180 pages of our students, families, staff, teachers that have put their thought and opinion about our schools. And reading it today, 180 pages of it, is quite concerning. And I think we as a board really have to look at safety, which I know we are addressing, the climate and culture of the way people are feeling. Now, of course, everyone, I understand that people have opinions, and with all evaluations, you either have one complete negative side or, oh, they're the best, they can do no wrong. So we have to find our happy medium. But the bathrooms is a consistency. The bathrooms are, and it shouldn't be. I know this is from the fall of last year, so it is a little outdated, but board, I know we can do better. So we need to really come together, which I know we are as a team, and hold our superintendent to the highest standard of getting our schools back in a place that students feel safe and they can learn. I mean, reading these comments of, I don't feel like I can learn because I'm not safe, that's something we have to address. So anyway, I just wanted to say that. Okay, and
All right,
then,
let me piggyback.
yes, please.
Discussion. Mr. Nehan, can you just kind of give an overview on the last couple safety things that I think we just approved one, and recap what we did with the IDs and stuff.
So the board just in the last couple of actions approved Evolve object detectors. There's 26, I believe, total for all of our campuses. It's about $2.4 million, and those will be used at every site, at every entry point throughout the day. And we want to have them deployed for kind of ramping up and getting our systems down for summer school, and then ready to go for the first day of school in August. And then at the last board meeting, the board approved the Centegix notification system, which is every staff member has an ID badge with a clicker on the back, and 4 times summons help. There's a reason, there's some type of distress on campus, and then 10 times is an all call for a school lockdown and an automatic call to 911.
Yeah, I just want to point out this board, we've been pushing this, of course, me being a law enforcement background, and we have an outstanding safety committee, and a lot of this technology is coming out of those discussions with our security, outstanding teams that we have. I just want to point out that this board is absolutely addressing the safety concerns of our parents and our teachers, and we're actually spending millions of dollars to make sure that safety is enhanced. And we're not done yet. We're still going to keep meeting, keep addressing the safety issue. So I understand people can, feel we're not as safe, but we are addressing it and we are moving forward. And I want to let you know that this board is committing many, many, many millions of dollars into our security of our schools, because it's not if it's going to happen, it's when, and we need to be prepared. So thank you. I appreciate that for the discussion.
Thank you. All right, and then yes, thank you, Mr. Nehan. And then 15A donations. Thank you to our donors for all you give to our district. All right, so now what, because of her abstention? Well, D. Okay. All right, so we have the motions. Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, seeing none, motion passes, and now 12D. Separate. I'll take a second. Discussion on 12D. That is the fairgrounds. Okay.
I can't vote.
Right. Any discussion there? I just want to say I'm really excited for this spring experience, because I think that is going to be really a great event.
Just for transparency, Ms. Mann, you're not going to vote on that due to the fact that you hold the vice president position at the fairgrounds. So just full disclosure that she doesn't want to get involved in. So absolutely agree.
All right. So
So the motion.
second
You got a second?
discussion. Yes.
Okay.
All right. So all those in favor say aye, with the exception of the abstention. Aye.
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 Any opposed? All right. Motion passes 4-0 abstention. 1 abstention. Okay. All right. I think we're on to 16. From the board and superintendent, we're going to start with Mr. Son Gabriel.
Good evening, everyone. I was following from the last meeting I had with Ms. Corona about the way you wanted ICC to work for student board members now, about the highlights and the issues. So I want to start that today, actually. Well, first off, I would like to thank the board for meeting our ICC students today. We always welcome you guys to say hi and join us anytime. We will be starting our meetings now from 5:30, so you guys are able to hop in and say hi as well. And thank you to Ms. Hernandez for bringing ICC some snacks and goodies. They definitely enjoyed it, especially me. But moving on, so my first highlight is I would like to highlight SOAR Palmdale. They're having actually their first prom this year, and which is amazing because their funds were all student raised. And our second highlight for tonight is Lancaster High School for being nominated as the Antelope Valley's best public school by the AV Press.
Job, leadership. Thanks for the credit.
And then I would just like to address some rising concerns that's come up within ICC. This is actually based on dress code. So ICC had a discussion about dress code policy and enforcement. I would just like to address that ICC as a whole has had some concerns with the enforcement within their campuses and the rising problems of favoritism among security guards who are being dress coded and the implementation of a policy to the campus as a whole and not only to specifics of the campus. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mrs. Mann.
What a great presentation from our schools. Absolutely awesome. Very impressed. Thank you to the teachers, to the administrators, to everybody that works in the schools. These kids, they couldn't do what they do without you. So I'm very excited of being in this board. It makes me so proud and my heart is so full. So thank you.
Mrs. Hernandez.
Likewise, I just want to thank everyone, the principals. You guys have been excellent hosts as I've been visiting the schools and continuing to take on my role and learn more to be able to serve, our district. So I just want to thank all of you for your time. I know I take a lot of it and you guys have so much to do. And I want to just be grateful for the time you take to explain the acronyms to me and as we can continue to just understand your important roles here. And it's very important for me. So thank you all.
Mr. Hughes.
Outstanding job. Great presentations today, but I just want to go and I just want to say again, what an amazing board we have up here. This is such a change from the past. I don't think anybody's yelling at anybody. I think everybody's getting along. We haven't been getting rocks thrown at us. I think I'm so blessed to serve alongside of you guys. I'm just always impressed, especially to our new board members, just thoroughly impressed how you guys are jumping in there and videos and TikToks and all that stuff. And I'm just proud. Thank you.
And before we go to Mr. Sanchez, Mr. Nihan.
Thank you. I want to start off by saying congratulations to Knight High School and their varsity boys basketball. They won CIF in Division III AA. Congratulations, Hawks. And I want to give credit where credit is due. About 2 years ago, Mr. Sanchez came on the board and brought some concerns forward with regards to some traffic concerns brought by neighbors in front of Little Rock High School, and worked with Supervisor Barger's office and LA County Department of Public Works. And sometimes the wheels of government turn slow, but I was out at Little Rock last week. There's a four-way stop. There's multiple speed controls. There's bright lighting. And then on the west end of campus, there's a crosswalk across Avenue R. So Mr. Sanchez, great job. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. And thank you to County Public Works for making our school safer.
It was a team effort. Thank you. Teamwork.
Thank you, Mr. Nia. Mr. Sanchez.
Well, I just want to share that I had the blessing today to do the career fair over at the Rex Paris at the high school. It was pretty cool. Interacting with all the kids and me, showing them about what we do with the electrical trade. So it was nice. It was nice. That's all.
Great, thank you. First, I have to thank Ms. Rivas, Mr. Nihan, and anyone else and the students for this beautiful art. Finally, in this boardroom, it's not so stale anymore. And we can enjoy the creativity of our students. And then over here, our ceramics, it looks like. Thank you. This is Arts Education Month, so let's highlight that. So please send my thanks, Mr. Nehan, to all that were involved with this. The other thing is I am really excited to participate in the Ghostlight Festival at Eastside High School because as an AVC theater faculty, I'm having my students facilitate all of the workshops. So we will be working with them and seeing the collaboration with the college students, the community college students, and the high school students. It's just a really amazing opportunity. So thank you to Mrs. Pruitt and Mr. Moore. They were the ones that reached out. And then just overall, as board president, I'm still learning. However, this is such an honor to sit in this role because there's so much on my shoulder. I try not to take the entire burden of 21,000 students on me every single day, but it does, it lives. And so I care so much. And I know we're not perfect, but I do believe that the 5 of us with Superintendent Nehan's leadership will create a stronger campus, stronger students. We will get our dashboard scores up. We will. We will have classrooms where kids want to come every day because of the adults that care about them, because of the friends they make, because of the programs we offer. We have so much to give. And I just hope that all 21,000 students know this and that the staff know that we do care. We cannot move as quickly as many of us would like, including myself, but we are moving in, I believe, the right direction. So I just again want to thank you all, Cabinet, Mr. Nehan, Mr. Willis, Mr. San Gabriel, Rachel, all of the principals here, especially Rachel, just for your grace with me as as I sit here in this chair. So that's all. Thank you. 17 is closed session. All right. 17C. During the closed session, the board considered resolution number 2024-2530, non-reelect certificated employees by a vote of 5-0. The board took action to approve resolution number 2024-2530. 17E, may I please have a motion to approve administrative hearing panel recommendations for student expulsions and to order as presented the expulsion of 7 students. Motion.
Motion.
Can I get a second? Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I said aye. Sorry, I forgot to say that out loud. In my head, I said. Motion passes. 17F, during the closed session, the board considered a request to waive healthful living for an AVUHSD student, HW 2024-25011. By a vote of 5-0, the board took action to approve the request. 17G, during the closed session, board considered claim number 2501-28001. By a vote of 5-0, the board took action to reject the claim. Item 17H, during the closed session, the board considered claim number 250204-001. By a vote of 5-0, the board took action to reject the claim. Item 17I, during the closed session, the board considered claim number 25-021-1001. By a vote of 5-0, the board took action to reject the claim. 17J, during closed session, the board considered claim number 25-022-0001. By a vote of 5-0, the board took action to reject the claim. Item 17K, during the closed session, the board considered claim number 25-02-25001. By a vote of 5-0, the board took action to reject the claim. All right. B, adjournment scene guy. It is recommended that the board adjourn the meeting. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All right. I want to close the meeting in memory of Sandra Alanis Frutos. Sandra was hired as a Spanish teacher in 2024 for Antelope Valley High School. All right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion passes. Good night. Good night.